欢迎来到 Mandarin in 2 minutes. Hello everyone. I wanted to go over measure words in this post. Something that's a little bit confusing to anyone who speaks a European language as their sort of mother tongue. Because these do exist in a lot of East Asian languages, such as Korean and Japanese. So what is a measure word, first of all? A measure word is a word in Mandarin that is used when you count an object. So if you say 1, 2, 3, 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, you have to use a measure word in between the word for 1, or the number 2 and the number 3, and the object, okay? Also, you'd use measure words when you say after the words for this and that. So if you want to say this book and that book, then you would have to use a measure word in this situation. The handy thing is, although there are many measure words in Mandarin, we tend to have one which we can use for everything, okay? And that is ge, ge. And you can say absolutely anything at all. So you could say zhe, so for this one, na ge for that one, yi ge for one of something. So yi ge shu you could technically say. And then 2个书, 3个书, 4个书. So you can use ge for absolutely anything. However, it's good form to try and get the correct measure word. And we use different measure words depending on what the object is, and usually just on its size or quality. So for example, let's go back to book. So 书, anything that's bound and has a sort of, is bound like a book or a sort of magazine, we would use the measure word 本, 本. So you wouldn't say, you can of course, as I just said, say 一个书, but you would normally, much nicer Chinese, say 一本书, 一本书. You may have heard me say earlier on 一两三四, and you thought, what's liang? So liang is a pair of, and we never ever say erge or erben. So日本sounds like Japanese. Erben, no, that's wrong, okay? It's liang. Liang is the number 2 with measure words. It's the only one that changes, so don't panic. So you can't say 一二三四个. You've got to say 一两三四, okay? So it's always 两本书. Sorry, 两本书. Got my tones wrong there, sorry. Yeah, so liang is the word that you'd use in front of a measure word for the number 2. Other words that we'd use, if you're counting lessons, you would use it with 节, 节. So you'd say 一节课, 1 lesson. 两节课, 2 lessons. Other things you would count, small mammals, if like cats and dogs and rabbits, you'd say 只, 只. So you'd say 一只狗, 一只狗. And you would say 两只狗, or 两只猫. Mao, excuse me, Mao. So if you wanted to say a large mammal, you would say 头. So you'd say 一头 with a larger mammal, so whatever you could think of there. And then there's another one, 条, 条, which you'd use for long object. We can use this one for snakes. You can use it for lots of different things. I've heard it used with dogs as well. So you can actually say 只 or 条 for a dog, and you'd also use it for things like rivers, anything that's long and flowing. Fish, you could say 一条鱼, 一条鱼 for one fish as well. And let's give a couple more. Swore. Swore is used for places, usually large buildings. So you could say one school, 一所学校. 一所学校. And yeah, there are lots and lots of different measure words that you can use. But if you can't remember the one, or you don't know the word that's used for that particular object, what you do, use ge, okay? Don't ever, 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 ever miss out the measure word. It sounds terrible. You will sound like a 3-year-old child if you say ge for everything and you don't use the correct measure word like bun or zhi or tiao. But it's better to sound like a 3-year-old child who doesn't know all their words yet than say it incorrectly and leave out the measure word. Okay? So if you say, for example, 一书, I can't even say it. I have to concentrate really hard just to say that. 一书, that's terribly wrong, okay? 一本书 or 一个书 at very least, okay? Right, so that's measure words. We use them after numbers. The number 2 changes from to liang, and you use it after zhe for this and na for that. So if you want to say, can I have that one? You'd say 这个, 这个. or can I have that one? This one you can say 这个那个 and 一个两个三个四个 etc. So after numbers, after the words for this and that, but remember the number 2 isn't ever it's always liang. Okay, I really hope that you found that video useful. Press like please, and don't forget to subscribe, and I would love to see you again. So pop back in and check out the rest of the videos on this channel. I'll put a recommended one for you on the side, so click that as well if you'd like to see more. Hopefully you do, and don't forget to visit my Twitter account and my website gtlanguages.com for more information on the languages of your choice. 谢谢你们，再见，拜拜啦。